Hi everyone, I'm Jorina and I'm an artist and drama therapist and I'm running this workshop for Centrala Art Gallery. The title of this workshop, it's part of a bigger workshop series and the title of this workshop is Expedition into the Future. It's part of a workshop series called My Little Piece of the Planet. And the reason we're doing this workshop series is because Centrala has a beautiful exhibition on, which is called Alterations, and it's all about environment, global warming, and different artists responding to how they feel about global warming and what they think about it. And in each workshop, we're going to look at one or more art pieces and then make our own art in response to that. The workshop is really great for children between 8 and 12, but if you're a little bit younger or a bit older, feel free to join in as well. So before you start, you need to gather a few things that you're going to need. So can you get a few pieces of white paper? Can you get a pen, some tape or glue? And can you either get a little plastic bag or a tub of some sort? Yeah, so you can press on pause right now to make sure you gather all the materials you need. And I'll wait for you. When you come back, we'll start. Okay, so hopefully you've got all your materials sorted now. Now, I'm going to show you the artwork we're going to look at this week. So the artwork is called Evolutionary Utopias by Uli Mari Lindström. And I'll share my screen with you so you can have a look for yourself. And as you can see, this artwork is a set of 3 pictures. I'm going to ask you, what do you see when you look at these 3 pictures? Can you see they're animals or insects? Do you think they are real or fake? Now, when I explain a little bit about these pictures, it's the artist's idea about what animals would look like in the future. Now, I'll zoom in a little bit. First, it looks like birds and maybe insects, normal ones. You zoom in, have a look. Can you see that actually the artist has used all different materials to build these animals and they're new animals. So you can see there's feathers, there's pieces of flowers, and here on the side there's a skeleton and also 2 flowers as eyes. And when you look down, there's a little flying insect with also a piece of flower as the head. So as you can see, it's almost like a hybrid. So a hybrid is when 2 things from different worlds merge. So the animal world and the plant world, or it could be the human world and the animal world. So the artist has merged these different things into new animals. And we're going to be doing the same. So I'm going to ask you to get a little piece of paper. Could be smaller, but you can use a big piece as well. We're going to go on an expedition. Now, the expedition is going to be in and around your house. If you have got a garden or a balcony, you can go into there as well. Just like Charles Darwin, who used to go on expeditions on a big boat called the Beagle, he would go around the world and collect different species. Different species means he collected samples of animals and plants to study. We're going to do the same, but we're not going to look at animals from history. We're going to look at the future. But for that, we're going to have to go on an expedition. So I'm going to ask you to write down the following things. And you're going to try to find small things in and around the house or garden. And I want you to find something soft. So could you write down soft? The next thing is I'm going to ask you to find something prickly. Prickly, stickly. Now, next on your shopping list is going to be something green. That could be from a plant or something from outside the garden or from the fridge. or just a green piece of paper, whatever you can find. The next thing you're going to find is something colorful. Loads of colors, or just beautiful colors. Then on your shopping list, you're going to write down something beautiful. A small thing that's beautiful. Then you're going to see if you can find something that's long, like a piece of string or a stick, or anything long. The last thing is you're going to find something that humans have made, so that it's not natural from nature, like a leaf or a flower or something. It's something humans have made, like plastic or an object. Right, so you've got all of those things on your shopping list. You don't need to gather all of it. Maybe a few is enough, but you can pause the video in a moment, and then you're going on an explore. Bring your tub or your bag and gather all those small things from everywhere. See what you can find, and I'll meet you back in a moment. You can press pause. Okay, welcome back. Now, I hope you've got your tub or your bag filled with all the things you've gathered on your expedition. Now, just like the picture that we've seen that was made by the artist of like a new animal, you're going to make your own animal of the future. Now, I'm going to ask you a piece of paper, and I'm going to ask you to play around with the objects that you have. Make your own animal and have a think. Is this animal going to be able to fly or swim, crawl? Is it going to be more like an insect or a mammal? Or are you going to go more for a hybrid, so something with a bit of a robot in, maybe a mix of a human and an animal, or a plant and a human? Have a think. Now, I'll show you as an example what I just made. This is the body, it's a stick. I used feathers for the wings, some hair, a rubber band, and a sticker for the head. And this is a little beak, and I found some shed felt for the roof, and that's a kind of propeller I've created. Yeah, so could you please try out a few things and then use your tape. Once you're happy, use your tape or glue to create your own animal and stick it down in the middle of a piece of paper. Good luck. You can press pause now. Okay, now, do you like what your animal's looking like already? I think I'm very curious to see what you've made. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a species sample. And a species sample is a way of describing our animal and showing what our animal likes to do and likes to eat in a almost like a biology way. So I'm going to share a screen with you so you can have a little look at an example. And this, have a look. It's a diagram. And you can see here, this is just a normal mouse. But what you're going to do for your animal is you're going to do the same kind of lines pointing at all the different body parts of your animal. And you're going to write at the end of those lines around the animal what they are. So you can think about the face and the head, the maybe a tail or wings, but you can also come up with parts of the animal that are new or they don't really exist in real life because it's a future animal. Yeah, so have a little look and then look at your own picture and see if you can make these lines. And you can press pause if you haven't done already. And I'll tell you more in a moment. Okay, so I hope you've managed to write down all the body parts. Now, see on your sheet where you have space to make a big square box. So here, here, here or here. See what works for you. I might put mine here. And you're going to draw a big box, a square box like this. And at the top of the box, you're going to think of your animal's name. Now, because this is a fantasy animal, you can think of any name that you want. So you start with the name here. Once you've done that, I'm going to ask you to write down a description of your animal, of this species you've created. Have a little think, what makes this a future animal? What do they eat? Where do they live? How do they live? Do they have any special powers or things that they can do because they're from the future? Now, once you've thought of that, write a little story about your animal in the rest of your book. Okay, I'm really keen to know what you've written down. So now you've made your animal and you've made a really good species, like a sample species of the future. Now, this was our first workshop of this week. There's going to be a total of 5 workshops. Now, next week, the workshop is going to be called Landscapes on Your Doorstep. And you will need for that workshop some paper, some colored pens or paints, maybe a pencil. And that's about it, really. So if you want to join in next week, it's going to be the same time. You just book your ticket again, like you did this week. And you can invite friends around as well to join in on their computers because it's a free workshop. Now, if you like your animal, we would love to see it. So you can either put a picture of your animal in the comments under this video or in the event, or you can email it to Centrala Art Gallery. We would love to see it. So thank you so much for joining in today, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.